Hello and welcome back to Arsenal Unfiltered, your 3 times a week dose of Arsenal coverage with me, your host Mark. This is an instant reaction to Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. It is 2:43, so as quickly as I could get on the mic after the game has finished, a really positive performance. I'm going to just do the headlines, do some, high-class player performances, maybe some performances to worry about, although I can't imagine there's going to be many of those after such a professional 12:30 result for Arsenal. And then tomorrow, what I will do is I will bring you the in-depth match review. So make sure, if you want to hear my in-depth match review after you've heard this instant reaction, make sure you go to wherever you get your podcasts from and hit follow on your Arsenal Unfiltered stream. Let's get right into it then. And I think the first headline is how good we were in that first 30 minutes. A really, really positive start from Arsenal. Forest seemed fairly up for it. We discussed in the preview podcast, they have a new manager. So they looked like they were a team who were ready to play for their new manager, try and impress. And they were quite physical. They were winning a lot of challenges, being quite combative to try and get in and around Arsenal and make life difficult for us. But I thought we were superb. We managed that really well. And once we kind of dealt with what they could throw at us, we were very good going forward. Madueke was a real shining light at the start of the game for sure. And we will definitely talk about him because I think he had a really, really good game. In that first 30 minutes, though, we obviously lost Martin Ødegaard. He went down. This lad has been so unlucky with this shoulder. First, it was a big collision, horrible landing against Leeds. Gets a little bit of time against Liverpool. Plays well in the international break. Does his job there. We think, cool, he's back. We're all settled. Almost a carbon copy. Not quite like the shoulder bars from Leeds, but the way he comes down on that shoulder. I think it is the same shoulder. So I think it is a re-injury of that problem. He did the same thing that he did against Leeds. He tried to carry on, but it seemed it was not going to happen for him, and Ethan Nwaneri came on in his place. I thought Nwaneri had an okay game, pretty uneventful for Nwaneri. Some nice touches, some nice moments in midfield, but he is still finding his feet in that central position, I think, and that's probably one for more of a discussion in a more dedicated pod, probably about some of the player positions and the changes that we've made. But we were really good for those first 30 minutes, and of course it culminated in the Martin Zubimendi goal off the back of a corner. It's a hell of a volley, and Martin Zubimendi deserves tons and tons of praise just for getting that on target. But actually, he gets a very minor deflection, but he's shaping it away from the goalkeeper. It's a really, really difficult technique, a really, really nice finish. So praise to him. He obviously gets a goal much later on, a header towards the end of the game on the 79th minute. Just an all-round brilliant game for Martin Zubimendi. 2 goals off 0.2 expected goals. A very, very interesting day for Martin Zubimendi because I doubt he's scored many braces in his career. He made 86% of his passes, created 1 chance. Really, really good day for him. I thought he was just generally excellent, and a really nice performance without Declan Rice, by the way. I thought that was really interesting, and we'll dive into that more in the main review. But I was wondering how we're going to play with Merino and Zubimendi in there. Will we see the double pivot again? In the end, we didn't really need the double pivot. We didn't need that structure quite so much. Marino was allowed to kind of roam forward, but he wasn't quite a second striker. He really was a true number 8 in that midfield, I think. And it was an interesting lineup from Arteta from that point of view. But Forest came back into the game. This is the second headline I want to talk about. They did come back into that game, and I thought from the Zubimendi goal to half-time, they were much better. There was a real nice couple of passes from Nottingham Forest, and I think, they started to create some connection in the final third of the pitch. They did have that one moment where Morgan Gibbs-White got free in the box and had a shot. Timber it looked like an unbelievable goal-saving tackle from Timber at the time. Then you saw on the replay, Gibbs-White had kind of pushed it wide of the post, and Timber had just done enough physically. It wasn't quite as impressive as it was. So it was Forest were growing back into the game, and they certainly looked like a team who were ready to play and try and impress Ange Postecoglou. But brilliant football from Arsenal right after half-time meant that, we kind of killed the game. And this is why you buy a Victor Gyökeres. I thought he was largely, kind of out of the game. He was out of the game in the first half, really not involved much. Another game where we saw Arsenal not really connect with Gyökeres, players not really finding him not getting space. But what we did it against Leeds. A ball over the top from Calafiori. Against Leeds, it went to Gyökeres. In this occasion, it went to Eze, and Eze really, really close on the offside. I did think he was offside when they first showed the replay, but he provides a really, really quick and early cross. Gyökeres is there to tap it in. He then had another really nice moment later in the game where he kind of picked the ball up on the left side, worked his way through a few defenders, gave it to Madueke, went round Madueke, got the ball back and hit the post. It was a good 20-25 minutes from Gyökeres, a really, really impressive performance. And then he was removed. Like I said, Zubimendi went on to add the third. I think it was thoroughly professional from Arsenal at the end. I'm going to do 3 star players right now, and then I'll do 3 under pars. No, I won't. There aren't any. I really don't think I could do 3 under pars, to be honest. Star player number 1, I'm going to give it to Noni Madueke. More direct running, more terrorising of defenders, I guess you could say. He made Morata look really, really uncomfortable in the first half. Nico Williams did a better job against him when he moved over to left back after Forest had their own injury problems with Murillo, but even still, it wasn't a comfortable afternoon for anyone who was playing left back for Nottingham Forest. Madueke put some really nice crosses in. The way he shifts his body is really, really excellent and intelligent. And I think we are still missing Saka. I do, but we are not missing him in the same way that we missed him last year. It looked clunky, that right-hand side, when Bukayo Saka got injured last year and we missed him for so long. It looked, we tried so many different players over there to try and get it right. I think we had Trossard out there, we had Martinelli out there, we obviously had Ethan out there for a period. Like, we tried lots and lots of different things last year to get it right. It is so nice to have, a very minor drop-off in performance, I think. I think Madueke is playing really well for Arsenal and really well for England. He needs to add goals and assists. He absolutely has to. He created 5 chances in this game. No one put any of them away. He didn't get a shot at all, though, and that is disappointing. No shots on target or off target. I think, he's had a really good couple of weeks, but I want to see him add that kind of killer essence to his game. He's been at Arsenal a little bit longer than Eze, and I think he looks like slightly more comfortable in the system than Eze does, but you saw Eze's quality in that assist for Gyökeres, and some of his flicks and turns were really nice as well. But he provided an early first-time ball. He knows where the danger is, Eze does, and I think Madueke just needs to get there. He's very, very concerned with beating his man, which he's doing brilliantly at the moment, and he's terrorising left-backs. I think he just needs to get that sense of being a bit more ruthless and going for goal a little bit more regularly. Maybe a little bit more Victor Gyökeres in his brain, I guess is a good way to put it. Eze is a good shout for a star, but I'm not going to give him one. Gyökeres as well. I think mainly because I think there were so many impressive performances. You could give a star to any of these players, but I've got 3 to give out. I'm going to give 1 to Noni Madueke. There's an obvious one, Martin Zubimendi, 2 goals, a really good display. I'm going to give the final one to Christian Mosquera. Another really assured performance coming in. Saliba still not quite fit enough. I think he did train, but Arteta basically said before the game, not worth risking him. We weren't comfortable. Pardon me, weren't comfortable. So I think Mosquera comes in, and even though he's played very little for Arsenal, he's very new to Arsenal, and he's still young and raw, he looked so assured. Fair enough, he's played a lot of times for Valencia in La Liga. He has a lot of experience for his age, but, he is handling the switch to the Premier League better than I really thought he could. He's been drafted in far earlier than I thought he would be, and he's doing a superb job. Right through the team, though, I thought we had really good performances. Calafiori, Gabriel, Timber and Raya all made really key defensive contributions at really critical times to help keep a clean sheet. 4 games in, we've only conceded 1 goal, and it was the goal of the month, from Dominic Szoboszlai. I'm really impressed with how we're defending so far, and I think you're just starting to see little moments in the attack where I'm like, okay, we've got something going this year, and it's only going to get better, in my opinion, if we can keep people fit. So my instant reaction overall, a thoroughly professional performance. I'm really happy with how we got on with this game. We really stepped up for the first 30 minutes, like I said. And when Forest punched back a little bit, when they started to look good, we used our new signings, our new quality, to find a moment, a quick goal, and a simple goal, just through two kind of quality moments, quality actions, and we have the 2-0 lead. Obviously, we get the third goal, which is the icing on the cake. But after that, we didn't really give Nottingham Forest a sniff at all. I think they had one shot, maybe. One shot on target, 5 total shots. Obviously, they had that weird moment with Chris Wood when he chested it onto the bar and David Raya was forced to make a really good save. But 0.22 expected goals for them. Very, very little. We did a really good job. And I will be speaking in more detail about that job tomorrow in the match review podcast, which you can find here at Arsenal Unfiltered. Make sure you follow so that you don't miss that match review podcast and the preview podcast of the Athletic Bilbao game, which will be coming up on Tuesday. So that's really exciting that we're playing so quickly. Again, probably not good for the players' legs, but exciting for me making the podcasts. A thoroughly professional 12:30 performance, and I can sit back and enjoy the rest of the football for the weekend. Like I say, tomorrow, keep an eye out for the full match review. And all that's left to say is thank you for following, thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.